In this video, I'll share with you a couple of updates that I managed to get from people who are based in Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East in particular. And if you see me looking at the screen, it's because I've written down these points. If you know anything different, feel free, comment down below. Let's quickly get into it. So this is day 77 of the US-led war against Iran. The biggest news was Iran. They claim Iran, but they don't know who. Somebody stuck a UAE power plant, which is a nuclear power plant, a very, very dangerous. So if you strike a nuclear power plant and there is nuclear radiation leaking, Allah forbid, then it's the end for UAE. On a serious note, if there is an attack on the nuclear power plant and if any bit of even a rumor spreads out that there's a radiation leak, it's the end for UAE. I can challenge you on this. The reason being is I don't think there is a single human being out there who would like to be exposed to radiation, to have his health destroyed or endanger the life of his loved ones. All the money will get out of UAE. All the investment will no longer be there. And you can't help it because UAE is like a sitting duck. It's a flat plain. There are no mountains to hide behind like Iran. And UAE is a dot. Iran is massive. It's huge. So UAE can attack Iran with its peanuts, small little toothpicks. Iran just has to take one nice little drone and attack a nuclear power plant. That's the end of UAE. That's the end of the entire bloody Gulf region, you could say. Who wants to move into an area where there's radiation? So, I think they are just trying to tell UAE, listen, don't forget your place. You're dealing with your daddy, and we know where your, goatee is, your ball sack is there. We just we hit it like that and it'll ring and give you a nice shock. I'm not hating on UAE, but I'm giving you straight up facts. And you can be rest assured that a lot of people are not very happy about this news. I spoke to my client. He was like, boss, the minute radiation, if there's leakage and all that, I'm getting out with my family. Just imagine that was the response that my client gave me. He says, I don't care, I've stayed in UAE so many years, but the minute there is a rumor about radiation, I'm not going to stay in UAE. Okay, let me know what do you think in the comments below. Do you think this would be the tipping point after which people in Dubai would no longer want to stay in Dubai? Because remember, the wind, the water, the land, if it gets influenced by radiation, it's going to impact everyone. Would you feel comfortable staying in a place where there's a risk of radiation? Okay, so that was one. I think it's more like firing a warning shot and telling UAE, don't think your Iron Dome is going to save you. Don't think Israel is going to save you. Don't think USA is going to save you. They don't give two fucks about you. Okay, and if not the nuclear power plant, they can attack the water installation plants. I mean, the entire Middle East region is just like sitting ducks, okay, agreed, Saudi is the biggest of the lot, but man, who's going to benefit from this war? This whole war escalation is only because of Israel. They want to destroy the Arab Muslim world. They want to get rid of it. They are nobody's friend. Israel should remain greater Israel, or because they are God's chosen race, so to speak, and they don't care about anyone. If they don't, you can see how they treat the people of Palestine, and only because they are Arabs, only because they are Muslims. So you think they're going to spare anyone in the Middle East? You are joking. If you think that, and especially our Indians, they keep saying, Israel is our friend, our brother, and all that. Boss, the way they treat Indians. I know people who are working, I can't give their identities, who are working in Israel, Indians who are involved in IT, software, AI intelligence. They have openly told me how horrible they treat Indians. They treat you like, they call you cow worshippers. They consider you like dirt. Like, the poop, the piss, they treat you like sewage. Anyway, you'll realize this only after you get treated like shit. Until then, you can keep saying, India is my, like Modi says, no, my fatherland, motherland, and all that. Land. Okay. A ship that was anchored off UAE was seized and taken in custody towards Iran. Another one was hit and sunk in the place near Oman. Iran's capabilities, they claim, has been reduced by 85% as per Israel, but Iran denies that. And I don't think that's true because Iran is still attacking and nobody is able to do anything. They can keep sending drones. You can send your $3 million, $5 million, $1 million missile and they'll send their $50,000 drone. So they can send 100 of them. What, are you going to shoot 100 missiles? Yeah. Trump, once again, likes to, give a lot of bow, wow, 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 wow. He keeps barking. Okay, so many things. He's saying the clock is ticking. There'll be nothing left if you don't act fast. Truth Social. I guess he wants to be irrelevant. He also admitted that I have attacked Iran, destroyed their capabilities, and now he is also admitted, I don't know, by mistake. He's saying he is hunting Iran's uranium only for political purposes, not for a military emergency or any necessity. Yes, slip off a tongue, but then you've clearly shown your intentions. You don't care what you're doing. You're just doing it for being in office. In fact, my prediction is he's going to drag on this war so that he can, I think increase his presidency duration because he can appeal to the emergency powers. Oh, we are in a war, so I have to continue being the president. I don't know what in the world went into Trump. He suddenly become this cuckoo. Okay, anyway, Trump told Fox News he's running out of patience once again. I don't know, the 44th time. And any sane person would make a deal. Iran is dying to make a deal, which is all bullshit anyway. All right, coming to the Hormuz problem, Iran said the strait is open, but only for their allies or people who align with their values. Anyone who aligns themselves with Israel or USA is banned. And now they also are banning ships from UK, US, France, and Israel. Iran media reported 30 ships were allowed overnight. Iran signals the strait is open to all commercial ships, provided you pay us money, you keep us happy, send us some cryptocurrency. Otherwise, we will boom shakalaka. That kind of stuff. Remember, 20% of the world's oil flows from there. And yes, the costs are rising and USA is feeling the pinch. So we also had US of A went to China. The Chinese virus, the Chinese people, all the mockery and the fun that he made. He finally has to go visit them. And there was a nice little picture where they showed when China visited, I think, President Carter or something, or Roosevelt, I'm not too sure which president. He was bowing out of respect. But here we see Donald Trump bowing his head in front of Xi Jinping. You act so brave, like a keyboard warrior behind the Truth Social and all that. Chinese virus, China, this, that. But when you go in front of China, you become a mouse. Squeak. Okay, so Trump and Xi Jinping joined and jointly agreed Strait of Hormuz must remain open. There should be a free flow of energy. Yes, Xi Jinping will say that. He's a smart politician. Xi Jinping pledged China will not provide military equipment to Iran. Ha ha ha. You believe that? Okay. But offered to help mediate end the war. China, just like US, will put China first. Okay. And I like that statement. Whenever Iran attacks anything, before Israel used to say, when they attack the Palestinians, Palestine has, Israel has a right to protect itself. Israel has a right to defend itself. Shouldn't Israel have a right to exist? So now when Iran is bombing, shouldn't Iran have a right to exist? Shouldn't Iran defend itself? Well, it works both the ways. Okay. So both the sides, however, remained distrustful, that is China and USA. And the summit was carefully managed, very diplomatically worded, and they shook hands. Bye-bye, no BRICS. Okay, BRICS, once again, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and I don't know what is this. Okay. So they couldn't agree on anything because they have disagreements about the Iran war. China wants stability, Russia wants leverage, India wants Hormuz to open, Brazil wants the war to end, South Africa wants sanctions lifted. So everyone wants their own funda, janda. Nothing happened. Okay. Iran, it says that US is sending contradictory messages. Sometimes they're saying, we want peace, but sometimes they're saying no. Sometimes we are very patient, sometimes we're not patient. Sometimes they say in a day we will agree. Sometimes they say 2 days. So Iran doesn't trust USA. Would I blame them? Yes. Iran has urged BRICS nations to condemn the war as illegal, which US started thanks to the initiation of Israel. Anyway, nobody's criticizing Israel. So as long as that happens, the war is not going to stop. And Tehran has vowed they will never bow down. And I believe that Iran will not bow down because Iran is playing the infinite game while US is playing the finite game. And US will lose that way. You can do a little bit of research on finite game and infinite game. Okay, Lebanon, Israel and Lebanon extended their ceasefire after a third round of talks in Washington, which is just a waste of time. Lebanon's death toll, thanks to Israel's wonderful strikes, is 3,000. So you're pissing off people of Lebanon. Don't expect them to keep quiet. They will retaliate. Then Israel will say, oh, these terrorists, oh, this Hamas, oh, this. Do you condemn Hamas? That's a classic thing. Do you condemn what the Israeli soldiers are doing? It's my question. Okay. Hezbollah has called the peace talks a total dead end. Wouldn't blame them. Economic fallout. US April inflation hit 3.8% high. Very good. Yes. 3-year high driven by war energy costs. Thanks to Donald Trump. Brent crude is 105, 107 per barrel. And about 8.8 million people are being pushed into poverty, causing 299 billion in total loss for the Asia Pacific region. So bottom line is this, no closed deal. Diplomacy is stalling. Everything is show business, which US is doing to show and trying to invite people to support its war, but it's not happening. Israel keeps trying to play the victim game. Nobody's falling for it. UAE is the biggest sufferer of all this. Markets are hurting. Every major player in the Middle East is going through hell. And, right now, the attack on the nuclear power plant is the biggest, most scary thing that has ever happened. So, this is my summary. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. Love to hear from you. This is me signing off. Yeah, bye.